My name is Judge Person. I welcome everybody to court this morning. I'm probably going to repeat myself a bit as we proceed this morning because I can see that there are folks who are not yet logged in or their audio connection issues. I also have a number of people who I can't identify, so we'll be talking about what to do with that. But most of the audio is connected. I'm Judge Person, and I welcome you to the Temple Municipal Court. Folks on the phone, listen carefully because I'll be trying to identify you here shortly. I do want to let you know a few things before we get started. That is that when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are methods that we use that accuse a person. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving your answer or response to that accusation. There are three options for pleading. They are guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Guilty means I did this. Not guilty means I'm contesting this. No contest means I'm not going to say I did it. I'm not going to say I didn't do it. I'm going to let you find me guilty without admitting or denying it. I want to move forward with sentencing. If you plead guilty or no contest, we are going to move forward with sentencing. If you plead not guilty, we move that case to a pretrial. That pretrial docket is meeting today, as well as my general sentencing docket. So I will break a room out in a moment. And those folks who are scheduled for the pretrial docket today will meet with Amanda Rice. Ms. Rice, can you give a wave? And she is the city's prosecutor. I do want to just real quickly call out a couple of names. Michael Fino, can you unmute for a moment and just say hello? Michael Fino, if you could unmute.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Mr. Fino, your case was dismissed earlier by the prosecution. You are good to go at this point. You can be excused from court.
I thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure because I had missed court once before and you granted me another chance. So I thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Fino. Take care. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, and the other person is Carl Hopson. Mr. Hopson, I saw you come into the meeting. If you can unmute and just let me know that you can.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
I am actually signing that dismissal right now. Your case has been dismissed by the prosecution. And so
thank you very much.
You're welcome. And that's thanks to Ms. Rice. And what that means is you're free to exit at this time. Okay, you're done with court. Thank you. And then real quickly, I just want to, there are some people I cannot identify. So let's see. Let me find, first person, I'm asking you to unmute and you're labeled AW057. Could you just give me your name so I can make sure that we have the right file pulled?
It's Jasir.
And your last name?
Giles.
Thank you, Mr. Giles. And I'm going to remute you, but I have you in now, so that's good. And thanks. And then the next person was labeled Liz iPhone. Ma'am, if you could unmute and let me know your name, please. Liz iPhone, could you unmute and just let me know thank you. Let me know your name. I can't hear you yet. I've sent you a request to unmute, so maybe that'll help. There'll be something to click on the screen.
Elizabeth Perez.
Last name again?
Perez, P-E-R-E-Z.
Thank you, Ms. Perez.
Yes.
And I'm going to remute you till it's your turn. And then a person named Kelly or Kelly's iPhone. Let's see, let me find it.
I'm here.
There you go. What is your name, please?
Raymond Johnson.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
You're welcome.
And then I had some callers. Oh, I'm sorry, iPhone 12. Can you unmute and tell me your name, please? Your name, please. So you're unmuted, but I cannot hear you. I think you might need to turn your volume up on your microphone, perhaps. Still not hearing you. No, I can't. I can see your lips, but I could tell that's what you were asking. Now I don't see you, which is okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect. What's your name, please?
Okay. Andrew Tamez.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Tamez. Okay, and then I have some phone callers. If you're on the telephone, please listen up. A phone beginning with 254, and I believe the last several digits might be 412. And I'm sending you an unmute request. Well, you're unmuted, but I cannot hear you. Speak up if you can. Asking you to unmute. And a phone call beginning with 817 area. Yes. Where are you?
Yes,
Oh.
it's two. Did you say 2412?
Right. So I don't get all the numbers, and I don't like to read.
Okay.
I wouldn't read your
That's
number.
fine. I understand. I appreciate that.
What's your
My
name,
name
please?
is Teddy Boris. B is in boy. OORAS.
Thank you, Mr. Boris.
Yes, ma'am.
I've got you identified now. And we'll be with you shortly, but listen carefully, because when I call your name out, it'll be your time to go into the prosecutor. There's a separate space for you to meet with the prosecutor, because as judge of the court, I'm not supposed to, and I've muted you because this is actually for everybody. When you go into that pretrial mode, when you've pleaded not guilty, I'm not able to communicate with you about the facts of your case. And so that conversation with the prosecutor happens outside of my hearing. Okay. And then there's another phone call, and the area code is 512. And then the last few numbers would be like 355. Area code 512, you're on the phone. Could you unmute and tell me your name, please? Area code 512, could you unmute and tell me your name? So I've sent an unmute request, and hopefully we'll get that solved. I'll keep coming back to you and trying to identify you, but if you figure out how to unmute yourself, you actually come in the meeting unmuted, because if we came in not muted, there would be so much feedback that no one would be able to communicate. You're unmuted now. Yes, please. Your name?
I'm sorry. Did you ask for Shannon?
Well, I didn't, because I don't know your name. I just have a telephone number. Are you Shannon LaHoo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there we go. Now I've got you identified. I won't lose track of you now. Just pay attention and listen carefully, because I will call your name here in a little bit, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And area code 817 ending in 681. Could you unmute and tell me your name, please?
Giles.
Sorry, again?
Rhonda Giles.
Okay. Miss Giles, are you with Jasir?
My son is in here. Yes.
Okay. Are you in the room with him?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Are you near him, or?
I'm in a whole different city. He's with my mother at my mom's house.
Okay, well, we'll work with you. Thank you for being here. I will have you down, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So I want to just give you some basic, everyone the same information. when you're given a ticket and issued a citation, we've already reviewed that that's an accusation and the three options for pleading. When you plead guilty or no contest, we move into sentencing, as I said a moment ago. And then at that point, there's still 4 ways to gain a dismissal. Let me talk to you about how those work and what they are. What they are first: compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. So compliances are things that can, under the law, be brought up to date and dismissed. If you have something like that, I'm going to walk you through that. Like a good example would be if you had a headlight out, you're ticketed for that headlight being out, you fix it, you come to court on time, that's required. You prove that it's been repaired, you pay a $10 dismissal fee, and your ticket is dismissed. That's an example. There's about 15 of those. I'm not going to detail them all out for you right now. You're welcome to ask me if you're eligible, but I'm going to do a quick review. And if I believe you could be eligible, I'll start trying to get you to that dismissal. The second option is if you take a driver safety course for a moving violation in Texas. If you qualify for the program and complete it on time, you can gain a dismissal. And with that one, the offense has to be eligible, and that's any moving violation. And then you have to be on time. You can't have gone in the last 12 months for purposes of getting a ticket dismissed. And then you pay your court costs. Your fine goes on hold. If you complete the program, you get a dismissal. Now, let me back up a minute. I want to talk about money for a minute. Everyone's not favorite subject, but the fact is, in Texas, with Class C citations, which is what this court is, there's a court cost and a fine. That's true for any offense, but in a Class C court, the unique thing is that you're not sentenced as a component of being found guilty to a jail sentence. And you can get a warrant and be arrested for not showing up or for not completing your court order, but it's not included as a sentencing option. It's just fines and costs. When you move up to Class Bs and greater, there's fines, court costs, and jail time, okay, and community service time that is for like a probation aspect. Here, it's fines and costs, payment of those fines and costs, community service in some instances where it's appropriate. Now, in the driver safety course offense, I'm highlighting this because every ticket has that court cost and fine. And when you're given a number, when I tell you like your ticket is this amount, that includes a court cost and a fine together. In the driver safety course option, you pay the court cost. The fine goes on hold, okay? And if you turn in your class and your driving record on time, and it's the proper record and course, and they're on time, you get your ticket dismissed, and that fine that was on hold, it gets waived, okay? So you save money. Even though you pay for a class and you pay for a record, it's less expensive. You save money. The reason for that is really a public policy of safety, which has to do with the fact that what we know from evidence, it's evidence-based, that when we take that class, even though we don't love the class, even though it may not be the most enjoyable class, it's still important enough information that if you pass that class, you're a better driver for a period of time, about 12 months. And so we've incentivized that because we want better drivers on the roadways. Texas is literally the #1 state for death and dismemberment on our roadways. We are the absolutely top state when it comes to 25 and under people, ages 25 and under, dying and being dismembered on our roadways. We are #1. And the way to solve that is through this type of correction, because when you get a citation, you move into a higher bracket of risk, okay? So it is incentivized for that reason. The court costs are still required. I can't waive those because we send those to Austin, okay? They don't stay local. The fines stay local, okay? The costs get paid first, and if you complete everything, the fine gets waived, and just that money that goes to the general fund of the state of Texas. And you can just talk to the legislature about how that gets spent, because I don't have any control there. Okay, but the court costs have to get paid in the driver safety course option. However, you do save money. But what I'm highlighting that for is if you're eligible for that, I'm going to tell you and see if you want to do it. And then my very next question is going to be, when can you pay those fines, those costs? Because they are not cheap. They range from 144 to 169. And, I can give you a little time if we need to, but we'll have to sort out how to get you a continuance because you have to stay on time for that program. Okay, the third option is called a deferred disposition. Deferred means delay, and a delay, while we put a court order in place, the court order will be a list of things that you need to do in order to successfully complete your deferred and gain a dismissal. Minimally, we have to sort out the fines and costs. Sometimes there's a class, sometimes there's a record, sometimes there's a certificate. Then there's a good behavior period of time, up to 6 months. You can't get arrested or get new charges. You have to keep your address current and not get arrested. But if you meet those requirements, then your case is going to be dismissed. Here's the trick with that one, and listen up if you're tuning me out already. Listen up carefully. Here's what you need to know about deferred dispositions in Texas. And that is that you need to request it at the time that your plea is accepted by the judge. That's probably today, unless it's already happened, okay? So what I'm saying there is guilty or no contest, but I'd like a deferred, judge. So you need to speak up when it's your turn and let me know that you want that deferred, okay? Or I will assume that you don't want to do that, okay? The law says that I assume that you already knew all of this, and most of us just don't wake up thinking about this each day. I do, because that's what I do, but I don't assume that, even though the law says I can. I just really want everybody to have that information. And then the fourth option for gaining a dismissal would be if you complete teen court. To be eligible for teen court, you need to be a high school student or middle school, high school, or the equivalent of getting a high school diploma, such as a GED or an alternative program. We will need to see proof that you're enrolled to make you eligible. If you're eligible for teen court, it does represent a savings as well as a dismissal off your record, but there will be things for you to do, because what we know is if I sentence you somewhat creatively and sort of try to go for what got you into court in the first place and get that resolved, I'm a lot less likely to see you again in the future. So that's definitely what we want, okay? So anyway, those are the four options for dismissing. I don't have other options for dismissing. Every now and again, the prosecutor might dismiss a case. We saw that happen earlier today. She does review all the cases that are coming before her. And so, she can talk to you about options there. But generally speaking, really, these are the main four options that we have available. And I'll be talking to you about those options if it appears that you're eligible, or if you, if you ask about it too. Ask me questions if I've lost you. It's okay if you have questions. Just, speak up when it's your turn. We'll be unmuted. Each person will have an opportunity to be heard. Okay? Does everybody understand so far? I have a few people not on screen. I want to encourage you, if you're not on the telephone, to get on screen, because it would make a big difference. You're going to have an easier time. Let me just call the names. I think people are here. If I call your name, that's a good thing. It means I think you're here. If at the end, I'm going to say, if I didn't call your name, you need to raise your hand. Santos Aguilar Maldonado, I have you here. Trapper Goodwin, I have you here. Kira Robinson, I have you here. Ella Walsham is here. A Miracle Ingram is here. Jasir Giles and parent are here. Raymond Johnson is here. Then I also have Stephen Hook here. Shannon LaHue here. Omar Pace here. Elizabeth Perez here. Virginia Shelton here. And Michael Teague here. Is anyone here whose name I did not call?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Temez?
Yes, ma'am.
I do have you marked in. I'm sorry, I overlooked your name. Thank you for pointing that out. And thank you very much. And then anyone else? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and create the breakout room for the pretrial docket. And
I
Ms.
didn't know
yes.
if you heard me. It's Teddy Boris.
Oh, yes, Mr. Boris, I have you here. I just
Thank
had you marked in on the phone list. Let me just write
Okay,
it down.
thank you.
Thank you for pointing that out. And yeah, we're good there. Thank you, Mr. Boris. And so I'm starting with Ms. Rice, starting with Virginia Shelton. She was first to log in. Let me find her. There she goes. And Ms. Shelton, you're receiving an invitation to the breakout room. And what that is a meeting with the prosecutor. And her name is Ms. Rice, Amanda Rice. She's listed as Amanda on the screen. And after that meeting, come back in this room, okay, Ms. Shelton?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Okay, if you're able to get on screen, it's going to help you a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that it? Is
There you
better?
are. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good.
Okay,
Okay,
do you
good.
see the invitation?
I don't.
Okay, I can't resend it. It's I don't know.
There's a share screen button.
There it is. There it
Is
is.
that? Oh, there it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. No, don't share screen. Okay, that's gonna, yeah, we don't want to do that. That would, I'd have to end the meeting and start over. Okay, Santos Aguilar, let me have you unmute, sir.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you, Mr.
I'm
Santos?
doing good.
Mr. Aguilar, do you go by Aguilar or Aguilar Maldonado?
Aguilar is just fine.
Okay, and you have a parent with you?
Yes, ma'am. My mom is right here.
Okay, Mom, what's your name?
María Maldonado.
Maria?
Sí.
So Mr. Aguilar, you are cited, you had 2 stops, okay? One of them was December 30th for no driver's license. The fines and costs are $181. And I believe you have entered a plea of no contest to that charge. Then I have a failure to yield the right-of-way at a stop intersection. And that's from January 12th. The fines and costs are $269. That was an accident. And then a no driver's license charge, January 12th. The fines and costs are $181. So 3 charges. And I believe, let me just double check. So all 3 you have pleaded no contest. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand what those pleas mean? Guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you have requested teen court?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. All right. And Mom, do you understand what's happening? Does she know that you've been charged?
Yes, ma'am. She does.
Okay, Mom, do you understand?
Dile que sí, ¿entiendes? Que no pasa nada, dile que sí. Yes.
Yes.
¿Sí entiendes?
Sí.
Okay. So, Mr. Aguilar, with teen court, we have 3 fees of $20. So that actually turns into $90. Wait, yes, $60, excuse me. Is that right? 60?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 60. I'm sorry, I wrote it down wrong. $60. Can you pay those fees today?
I only have cash on me right now.
It has to be cash, yes. Can you pay $60 today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here's my next question, though. Are you getting a license? What's the deal?
Right now, I'm trying to finish school before I end up getting my license because I'm not going to be able to get a valid driver's license until I turn 18. But I'm going to graduate when I'm 17. So I'm trying to get my permit sooner. But right now, since I got these tickets, I'm trying to get.
Well, these tickets are not currently holding you up. Something else is holding you up. What is it?
Just school right now is really just, that's the only thing I'm trying to focus on is just basically go to school and stuff.
Forgive me, I'm not trying to be rude, but I beg to differ. You're driving. You're driving illegally.
I'm not driving right now, but
well, clearly you're in court. But I mean, you've driven twice at least.
Yeah.
That you've been caught, and you know, I think you've got the cart before the horse. It's illegal to drive in Texas without a driver's license.
¿Qué estás diciendo?
And so I'm trying to see, like, yeah, can you get a permit? What's that going to take? It sounds like you've thought about it. So what would it take for you to get a permit?
As soon as you can. You stop working. I'll try and work on it sooner, or I'll try to work on it right now to get it.
Okay, I'm trying to find out if you know the steps you need to take to get one.
I mean, I know, yeah, you have to go to the building, that one building, like a driving school, and take a course, and then and that's over like I don't know how long the period is, but I know it's over some time period. And I know,
Right, so, go ahead.
and I know I'll be able to get it because I'm 16. I'll be able to actually complete the course and stuff like that. So that's all I know about it.
Here's what I think we should do. You can tell me if you disagree. For teen court, one of the things I'm going to do is make you get that permit. So I would really like you to understand what you need to do to get that permit before we get started. I can sign you up for teen court, but it's a narrow window, you know, and if we spend half that window trying to figure out what you need to do and you're trying to figure out what you need to do, and see, I can tell you the basics. You have to prove that you're enrolled in school. There's attendance requirements that are necessary for that. You have to enroll in a class. Usually you get through that class. There's a couple of online classes that you have to take. Then you get the permit, right? And if I spend 2 weeks to 4 weeks of your time trying to have you figure that out, and then we only have 30 days to finish, and you may not have time. So I recommend right now on a teen court model that we move in the direction of getting an extension. You can go ahead and pay those fees today and we'll hold them. And then in like 2 weeks, you're going to come back with, you have a plan for getting that permit, because that's going to be one thing I require. And I'll have a couple of other requirements. But see, I also require like some classwork, but you might be taking that classwork in connection with your license. And I don't want you to I do not think it's beneficial for you to take required classwork for a permit and then add the same classes and take them twice and pay for them twice. So I need to know what you're doing to get that permit before we get started. Do you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, because doesn't necessarily translate.
Oh, okay.
It can be no or yes sometimes. There's one syllable difference. Okay, so I'm going to need you to come up and sign an extension, and you have homework, which is to find out what you need to do to get a permit. And we would come back on the 8th of February. And you're going to need to come up and sign and pay the $60. And that's going to hold your place for teen court. Okay?
Okay.
What time can you be here this morning? You're gonna have to bring a parent. I mean, first of all, you can't drive over illegally, please. But you're gonna have to get a parent to come with you. Okay?
Okay.
Because they have to sign too. You're actually considered not an adult yet under state law. So what time this morning can you and a parent show up?
I mean, as soon as possible really works.
Okay, this morning in about less than an hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions right now?
Is the address that I have to go to on any of these papers?
Well, it's exactly where you came before.
Okay.
Remember when you were at the front desk here at the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Same place.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay. Just come in. We recommend masks. Come to the front. Your paperwork will be there, and we'll get you squared away for the rest, for 2 weeks. Then you're going to go find out what you need to do to get enrolled, and, what's it going to cost? How quickly can you do it? I heard someone in your background say it quickly. I agree. So if don't wait to get enrolled if you can do it, and come back and let me know what all they're going to make you do, how long it's going to take you, and we can count some of that towards your teen court requirements. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. We'll see you soon. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. You're good to go.
All right. So I can leave the meeting?
Yes. Okay. So I am moving forward My next person is Trapper Goodwin. Good morning. Are you still here? You were here. I don't see him now. Oh, there he is. Good morning. Let me send an unmute request. That sometimes helps. Morning, Mr. Goodwin. Just unmute so we can hear you. Almost. So you went off screen. Is there, it's just the class, right? It's not the class and community. So. Mr. Goodwin? Y'all keep going on and off screen, but what it is that I can't hear you. Yeah, talking to me isn't going to help until you take your mute button off. You're muted. Yeah, I can't read lips. Something about your phone, but I'm not really that skilled in the lip reading. Believe me, I would like to. So I've sent a text message, just hoping. There we go. You're connected to audio.
No.
So now you've got two devices connected and screaming.
You got us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I apologize. He had his microphone turned where it couldn't go to the private. It was on some kind of privacy setting on his phone. I apologize.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So sorry, someone else got unmuted. Okay, so Mr. Goodwin, this is a possession of tobacco by a minor charge. The incident date is December 15th, 2021. If you pay it, the fines and costs are $181. Also, this one requires a tobacco awareness class. And if y'all could go back to unmuting, that would really help because I'm about to talk to you. There we go. And what I'm asking then is, do you understand the consequences if you were to be found guilty, that you're required to do a course, that you could be required to pay $181? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have entered a plea of guilty. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And with teen court, you have to be enrolled in school, which I do see that you are. And then there is a $20 teen court fee. Can you pay that fee in cash today?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what's going to happen is I'll require the same class, because it's really required, a tobacco awareness class. And it would be due in 30 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And you'll take it, you can take it online, and you'll have to pay for the class. But if you get the class turned in on time, which is March 1st, and pay your $20 fee today, then I'll dismiss the charge and it will not be a conviction. You will save the fine and cost of $181 will then be waived.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to do that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm able to, or yes, ma'am, I'm not.
Yes, ma'am. I will do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Mom, do you agree?
Yes, ma'am. That'd be fine.
Okay. And so you'll make sure, I mean, you can't do it all for him, but you can push him to get it
I'm
done.
not going to do any of it for him. If he can't do it, he'll pay the consequences.
Right. But he's going to have somebody make sure that he has the funds to pay for the class and that he gets it turned in. So
Yes, ma'am.
I asked that a parent help coordinate that, but of course they have to do the work. I agree. So,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. So we do have to get signatures and that cash fee today of $20. Can we look for you all this morning?
Yes, ma'am, that'd be fine.
Okay, around what time?
Probably, it takes me about 20 minutes to get to town.
Okay, that'll be fine. Sorry to make you come in, but we're gonna need to do that.
No worries.
Okay, all right, so you are good to go, and we'll see you at the front desk. I'm actually signing the paperwork right now, so it should be out there pretty soon.
Yes, ma'am, we appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, you have a good day.
You too. And moving forward, Kira Robinson, if you could unmute.
I'm here.
Good, thank you. I'll be right with you. I'm just pulling your file.
Thank you.
And let's see, there you are, and there's your mother. Mom.
Aunt, I'm her legal guardian, but I'm her aunt.
Okay, what's your name?
Letitia Roy, ROY.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And Miss Robinson, the charge is assault by contact. And I'm just going to take a minute to get a good look at that.
Okay.
When did we send? Okay, I believe we sent some paperwork to you. This is number 1. It has a 1 at the bottom.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, so Ms. Robinson, Kira, the first one, that one has a number 1 at the bottom. Do you have that in front of you?
It's in my kitchen. I'll go grab it real quick.
That would help.
Okay.
While we're sitting here, I'm going to let someone in who was not in before, so we need to talk to them.
Yeah, I have it in front of me now.
Okay, so the first form, ma'am, is it's titled Magistrate Warnings for a Juvenile.
Yes.
You have that in front of you?
Yes.
And were you able to read that beforehand?
Yes, I was actually.
Okay. So you're charged with the assault by contact charge, and your magistrate warnings are slightly different. Most of us have heard these maybe in a show or something like that, but you have the right to hire an attorney to represent you, and you have the right to have that attorney present prior to and during any interviews or questioning by peace officers or attorneys representing the state. And you have the right to remain silent. You're not required to make a statement, but any statement made by you may be used against you in court. And you have the right to stop any interviews or questioning at any time. I'm gonna be asking, can you sign this document today? Do you feel like you're willing to sign it?
Yeah, we've already signed it and submitted it back to the court.
Okay, let me get them.
I received an email reply that they received it.
Okay, I believe that. It's just that somebody has not printed that for me. I think it just came in yesterday. And so they're gonna pull all that. So that'll make it easier. The second page, that one has to do with keeping your address current. And we had your address. I'm not gonna read your address over the internet, but it was in Robinson, Texas. Did we have the correct address for you?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then, and you've signed that, I assume. So I'm going to move forward. The next one is just telling you that you have a duty ongoing until your case is completed to keep your address current. And complete means either a 0 balance or a dismissal, whichever is appropriate in your particular case. Do you understand that you need to do that?
Yes.
And the one labeled number 4 just says that you have, that's an ongoing duty till everything is done. Once it's done, then, once your case is completed, that obligation goes away, okay? And then the last one tells you that in Texas, what happens is that you are required, or you can have a single case dismissed against you when you turn, in this case, 17. An assault by contact charge is one that you can have expunged, we call it, from your record. And that means, like, think of it like a sponge where you wipe something up and erase it. Okay. That's the way to think about what an expunction is. You have the ability when you turn 17, if you have just one case prior to that time under the Texas Penal Code, you can have the case not only dismissed, but removed, expunged from your record. And that long-winded page number 5 that takes 2 pages of legalese is really in there, embedded in there. It talks to you about a penal code violation being able to be expunged at age 17.
Okay.
The reason that's important is, in particular with assault by contact charges, that expunction can be critical if you're pursuing certain careers. Okay. Certain careers require special licensure. For example, a nurse would not be able to have a conviction on their record of an assault and get accepted into nursing school and be permitted to get licensed as a nurse. As an attorney, they did a 3-year background check on us before we were able to, and they did super fingerprints, on all of us. Contrary to the reputation of lawyers, we definitely had to get that screening. So I'm just, I'm not trying to be overly lighthearted about it, because I want you to know that it's serious, but I also don't want you just terrified of what, could happen. The point is, if you've got goals that don't connect to this charge, we want to, you've entered a plea. I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. I'm not making an assumption yet, but I want your attention about it because, teen court is a great way to get a dismissal. That expunction option is a good way to get that off your, where no one can see it. But the reality is, you can't have any more problems because it can be very career ruining. It can ruin your future. So do you understand that you have that option to do an expunction of a single conviction?
Yes.
From this court? The dismissal can also be expunged through district courts. Okay. You do understand those options, at least that they're out there?
Yes, I do.
To me, what I always tell young people is keep that paperwork. Don't toss it. We'll get you copies when you're up here to do your final paperwork. And when you turn 17, find a lawyer that's skilled in expunctions and take that paperwork in with them and have a good discussion with them about it. Okay. All right. So the next question I have is, I have a plea of guilty that has been entered by you in writing. I'm wanting to accept that plea. But before I do that, did you understand those options for pleading guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, I did.
And your plea today is guilty to that offense?
Yes.
Okay. And then I have a request for teen court, which I will grant. Okay.
Okay.
And with teen court, there's a $20 fee. Can you pay that fee today?
No.
Okay. When can we get that paid?
To be honest, she's caused me to lose a lot of time from work. So we are struggling like really bad right now. I honestly don't know when. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have her own money. And to be honest, I feel like she needs to suffer her own consequences. I don't have any idea when I can get that money. I have house taxes I have to come up with this week.
Okay.
And I don't even know if I can.
Okay. Are you a single income home?
No, I'm not. I do have my husband, but like we are paycheck to paycheck, and
I get that. It was just a single question. Yeah, it's okay. I get that. I just was asking a standard hiccup for people. While I agree with you about consequences resting with Kira, okay, and I can waive the $20 fee. The problem is I'm going to ask for an assault. I'm going to ask for an anger management class probably.
Yes.
And that's got to get paid for. And if she has to go get a job and wait for about a month to get a paycheck, we're not going to meet the deadline on teen court because I only have 60 days. And I'm really serious when I say a conviction can be expunged at 17. But here's the deal, okay? If you get more, I don't know yet. I haven't asked you. But Kira, have you had any other charges before?
I haven't had charges, but like similar situations, but charges weren't pressed. This is like the first time.
Okay. So I think a class or like a therapeutic type class would be kind of important in terms of whether you're going to reoffend again. Yeah, Mom.
She would have had another assault charge in September against me. I actually called the police, but her medical, she has mental health issues and she was in the hospital. So the police told me that they weren't going to pursue anything because medical took precedence over criminal. But this would have been her second one if that one had fallen through.
Yeah, I understand. Yes, Kira.
Also, well, technically it would have been the third one because something happened with my stepmom in Vermont too.
Okay, so this is actually highlighting what I'm trying to talk about. Okay. I mean, if I'm going to require an assault by contact class, I think it's really important to do it, or I wouldn't order it. The trouble is, I don't know that we have a willingness by your aunt to help you pay for the cost of that. And that's kind of a rock and a hard place for me as a judge, because I think it's important for you to start learning some very specific skills right now. I'm not saying you haven't tried, but if you've tried, we're falling short of accomplishment because we're having multiple problems. And I mean, to me, a $296 ticket that you can get dismissed with an assault by contact class, I mean, an assault / anger management class, that's probably less than $80 would be worth it. And I would waive the $269. I could waive the team court fee, but I'm not going to waive the class, and someone has to pay for it.
Okay.
And I'm hearing your aunt say you should have consequences. I don't know what she thinks those should be. Let's hear from her. What should those be, Ms. Robinson? I mean, sorry, Ms. Roy.
I've spoken to my husband. I've spoken to her biological father, which is my brother. With the history of her behavior that she's had, everybody that I have spoken to says that if we pay it for her, with everything that's gone on in her life, she doesn't care. She, right after this assault charge, the very next day, she went to another mental health facility and said, I've already got an assault charge. I don't care if I get another one. To me, it doesn't prove to me that she wants to fix anything or that she wants to get better. She doesn't care. So I feel if I hand her the money for this, she's going to be like, whatever, they'll pay for it anyway. I don't care. I'll do it again. Because we've had that type of an attitude from her.
So your idea of a sentencing is for me to just do it and y'all don't care what it is as long as you don't have to do anything?
No, but I feel like for her,
but what's it going to be, ma'am? Here, sorry, but I need to interrupt you. What's it going to be? Because if all I can do is fine her and you're not going to pay that fine, or in the alternative, I can give her a class that might help her and you're not willing to do that, then what do you think I'm going to do? Because those are the two things I can do. You're not required to pay her fine. I can put that fine on her and it can just be a placeholder. And then I can order community service, but I suspect you're not going to be willing to drive her to community service either. So I don't know. I hear y'all saying sentence her, don't involve us. She's underage, but we're not responsible for her. But legally you are. Someone is.
And I understand that.
Yeah, well, you're not helping though. You're not helping right now. And I understand where you're coming from. You're fed up. I get it. But right now is the golden opportunity to see if she's willing to do it. You know, you pay for the class, she doesn't do it. I convict her, I leverage the fine, and she's got to get with me and figure out how she's going to do it. Or I can just, leverage the fine right now. But I'm not going to do teen court and help her have a future if no one's going to help her succeed.
Okay. I guess we'll just go with whatever you had recommended, and I'll pay for it, and she's gonna pay me back whenever she can.
Absolutely, that is important. And Kira, I think everybody's at the end of their line here. I mean, I hear that you said whatever you said to the mental health place the day after this. That may be your frustration, but that's the thing, is that I don't know what you've tried in terms of learning how to manage anger. But mental health is not an excuse for assaulting people.
Yes.
And you're in a different township. You're not in my city. I'm going to tell you right now, mental health is not taking precedence over a criminal charge.
Mm.
You know, what happens when you're an adult and you assault people, and you're about to be, in August, you're technically an adult. And what happens is they start arresting you. And if your issue is a mental health issue, they put you in a state facility. And, you know, when you get out of that state facility, you face criminal charges.
Mm.
It doesn't go away by that's not a King's X where you get to say, ha ha, I get to do this to the people in my life. You just don't. You flat don't. And that's not going to fly. As an adult, it's going to get harder and harder, and they're going to come down on you harder and harder each time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, I mean, to me right now, the most important thing is not that your ticket get paid.
Mm-hmm.
It's that I give you an opportunity. It may be your aunt, for example, Ms. Roy, you might say to her, and this is appropriate, I think, at home, she's got chores to do before you cough up the money for the class, you know, or she's got something that you need her to do, you know, and then if she does it, you pay for the class. It needs to be a reasonable amount of time, you know, let's say hypothetically 5 to 10 hours of work, not pretending, but actual resulted work in the home, for example. And, you know, you prove that you're serious enough about this to do that. She might decide to pay for your class. I'll give I'll give you 40 days before the class is due.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives you a week to prove to her that you're going to try to do something to earn the ability for her to pay for that for you. It doesn't mean that you don't still have to pay her back. You may still have to pay her back, but she might have a threshold of something you do at home to prove something maybe you don't want to do. Maybe you need to clean out all the toilets. Maybe you need to do all the laundry. Maybe you need to scrub the dishes for a week. Maybe you need to do all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then she might decide to pay for your class because you're proving that you're willing to show up and act like an about to be an adult. And then she might pay for your class. You can get it done. I think it's 12 hours. Is that right? So Ms. Roy, then I would require that she sit down, not you, but her, log in and do 12 hours of anger management. It doesn't all have to be at one sitting. I think what works best for people is if they do an hour to 2 a day. You get your class turned in. I dismiss your charge. And then, Ms. Robinson, you get the benefit of not owing this court almost $300, which you will owe. And I will honestly tell you that Ms. Roy nor your parents would be required to pay that ever.
Yeah.
Even if you're underage, they're not required to pay that. Now, I have programs if you can't afford to pay it, but I'm not going to make it easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be to your benefit to earn this privilege back from your family enough to show them that you're willing to do this class. Because if they pay for this class and you don't do it, nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't do it and you don't turn it in, that's the easy way, but it's the most corrective way. It's the way to learn the most. If you don't take that opportunity now while you have it, and this is your last chance, really. If you don't do it, no skin off anyone's back but yours. You owe the court $300, and if you can't just pay it, I'll hold your license and you will not get one until I allow you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll suspend it. And whether you have one or not, if you have one, I'll take it. If you don't have one, I will not let you get one until you satisfy the judgment here in the court. Do you understand that? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, recite it back to me.
That if I don't do all the stuff, I can't get my license. I have to be like willing to do all this stuff, like get the anger management class and get better with all this kind of stuff.
Okay, well, what's all the stuff?
Like the anger management class, I have to do that because I got to get like work better, and also like doing the stuff at home so that I can show them that I'm willing to do it. And then if I don't do all that stuff, then I won't be able to get my license and all that. That's like my license. And then I won't what's it called? I'll have to pay the court the fine, even if I can't pay it, then I'll have more punishments, all that kind of stuff like that.
Okay, Ms. Roy, let me get some input from you.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think? Is it worth trying?
I'll let her, I'll give her a shot to try it. I don't know how well it's gonna go. We've tried to enforce schooling and classes, and it's caused issues where she's ended up in another mental health facility. So I mean, 12 hours in an anger management class, I'll see if I can get her to do it. I honestly, I can't force her, but.
Yeah, I don't think you should try to force her at all. I think she should earn the privilege of you paying for that class first. I would give her 10 days. I would set a realistic goal for 10 days, of some things that she needs to do to help y'all as a family. And if she doesn't do them, I would not, but I would make it a written list so that you can check it off. You did or you did not do it. So it's not a debate. And then, the thing, Kira, is that then if you don't, she's not going to help you. And, oh, well, then you just have a conviction, not a dismissal. And you have more you're going to have to do to get out from under this. It's just going to get harder, not easier. I will guarantee you that it will be harder.
Yes.
And then, they would pay for the class. I think they're all really good classes. So even a class that's not expensive is a really good class, okay? Because we vet these classes. Is Court Solutions still, what, $50? I think it's going to be in the $50 range for the 12-hour class. Earn the fee. You've got to earn the fee from your aunt. Okay, it's whatever she says.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a debate like where you say, well, I don't think that I should have to do that. Okay, well then don't, and you just take the conviction. Okay, you really need to show that you understand the privilege. You have a family willing to be there for you and provide a home and shelter, and you've repaid them with assaulting them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not something that shouldn't happen. It's not something to be proud of, and you need to stop taking it for granted because they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so then if you get your class turned in, and I think, what's our 40-day? That's March 7th. Okay. Now I can email everything to you and you can email back signatures. Okay. But I need them today.
Okay.
All right. So I'm waiving the teen court fee in this case because of financial hardship. And that's that $20. Okay. I have a 12-hour anger management class due March 7th. This is all going to be written down in the paperwork that we send. I need your signature and your aunt's signature by the end of today. Just email it back to us, okay? Mm-hmm. And then I'll include class information. You're going to pick the class you want to pick, but again, like I said, the least expensive one is still a really good class. So doesn't need to be expensive to be a good lesson. I wish it were free, but free places close up quickly. They just, they can't survive. We don't get anything from your taking that class. All we need is your certificate of completion. We don't get a kickback or anything like that. It's purely corrective. Okay. So that's what I'm expecting. Okay. What, do you have any questions?
Is there a way, the school was asking me for documentation since it was a Zoom meeting. Is there a way to get some sort of a note or something?
Absolutely. We will send that with the paperwork. Okay. Yeah. That will be emailed with your paperwork. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. And Ms. Robinson, do you understand what you need to do?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Ms. Roy, again, you're not here to make her, if she's not going to do it, she's not going to do it. This is kind of a crossroads. It might be worth a try. And I do think if you set a hurdle at home and she jumps it, then I'm going to say, could you help her get the fee? But Ms. Robinson, that doesn't mean you don't need to pay that fee back. That's, there could be a number of things for you to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Ms. Rice, I know that you were talking to Ms. Shelton, and if y'all could both unmute yourselves, I'm pulling that file. And Ms. Rice, are we heading to resolution on the pending charge?
We've reached a resolution, Your Honor.
Okay.
So for Ms. Shelton's cases, she has 9. So the state offered a plea bargain agreement where I dismissed 4 and she pleads to 5. And so the ones that I'm not dismissing that she'll plead on are 74736047. That's the dog at large. 9395-6047, also dog at large. 9395-6038, that's a no rabies tag. 9396-6038, that's also no rabies tag. And the final one would be 9397-6038, no rabies tag. And she may have financial difficulties making those payments, but she says she had a financial affidavit on file that she had for a previous ticket about a month ago, and that is current.
Okay, thank you. I'll look for those dismissals from you today.
I will, yes.
And Ms. Shelton, I'll accept your plea on the other charges.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, those are the opposite. So the ones I just read out to you are the ones that she's pleading on.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I'm sorry, then I misheard.
No, all I said was I'll accept your plea on those cases, and I will wait for those dismissals from the prosecutor. And then I'm going to let the prosecutor move forward. Ms. Shelton, I still need to talk to you. But Ms. Rice, you're moving to speak to Omar Pace. And Mr. Pace, you still with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It'd be better if you get on screen, and then we're moving you to room 1. You'll have to accept the invitation, which should have just popped up on your screen. When you're done, you'll come back in this meeting, okay? He went. Thank you, Ms. Rice. Ms. Shelton,
Yes.
just give me 1 second. Is she on?
Yes,
She's
ma'am.
not due a payment till February. Is it all due at once? Ms. Shelton, are you still at Town Place Suites?
I am.
And then the Social Security, is that you or your spouse?
That's me.
Okay. Is that some form of disability?
No, it's
Okay.
retirement.
Okay. And are you a single income home?
Yes, I am.
So right now I show that you have $60 a month in payments,
I do.
and I'm showing that's affordable.
Yes.
And what happens now is you're going to need to come by the building. What we're going to do is add these charges to that payment plan. It doesn't go up each
I
month.
see.
It's the same payment. It
It's
just
going to
pays-
extend it.
Yes. And so what happens then is you might think about adding some money to each payment to make it go faster. But if you can't do that 1 month or another,
I'm going to have to live a long time.
right. So that's the point, is that if you want to end that faster, there's the obvious way to do that. you know.
Yeah.
He has shaved off quite a bit of money with those dismissals. So that's good, because I think she's going to take you down by about $1,000,
Yeah.
$2,000 almost. So,
Plus the cost of my fence back there too.
right. Well, that's just the cost of owning animals.
Yeah, that's true.
So when can we look for you this morning?
Well, time is it now? Oh, 10. I can be there by noon.
Okay, we will have everything at the front desk for you. I might not have those dismissals yet. I hope I will. If
You
I
want me to come at 1?
1 is fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I'm moving forward with Ella Washam.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. And Dad, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. And so you are Michael Washam then? I won't.
Yes.
Right there on the screen.
Yeah, I put that in just.
That's great. No, that helps. Not everybody knows the technology, so I just try to be level with everybody. So Ms. Washam, I received your request for teen court, and I also received a plea, I think, from you. Maybe I did not. Let me just look. It's kind of assumed that you're entering a plea, but let me back up, okay? So at the beginning of court, I did describe the pleading options of guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Do you feel like you understand those options?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you're charged with failing to yield the right of way, turning left at an intersection on December 18th.
Yes, ma'am.
The balance would be $269. Paid it at the window, for example. How are you pleading to that charge?
I'm pleading guilty.
Okay. And then we're moving toward teen court, which is a dismissal option. And with teen court, I think you've probably already noticed there's a $20 fee. Can you pay that fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then on this type of offense, I do require a driving safety course.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would be due, that would be due in 30 days, which is March 1st. And then because there is an accident, there is a 3-page essay that would be due at the same time, March 1st. And that one, it's free to do it, but you just have to do it on your time. Okay. And we will give you a topic, and it's 3 pages typewritten. And then just a driver's safety course plus that essay to gain a dismissal. If you do that, you save the $269. How does that sound, Ms. Washam?
Well, you can ask. Is there a live at 25 option, or is that the same thing as the driver safety course?
We could do a live at 25.
Okay. We don't know the difference. We were just.
Well, yeah. So the difference there is a live at 25 is a course, and you can take it online. I think around town and online. Is that true, Ms. Gonzalez? Still? Yeah, that's still the case. Do you, just one second, let me ask a quick question.
Sure.
Do we know when's the next, what are our dates on this? We're just going to pull those dates. I don't want to sentence you to something and then find out it doesn't meet till after the date I give you. Okay. The biggest difference with that is Alive at 25 is not just, there's some driving involved there, some driving knowledge or teaching, but the bigger bulk of Alive at 25 is really decision-making for young people. The difference really, I don't mind doing it, Mr. Washam. What I'll tell you is I try to curb the sentence to the behavior. So now I need input from parents for that. So for example, sometimes like I'll have someone come in and maybe they have a smoking charge. This is not your case, so it's easy because we can kind of look at it. So let's say I have a young person, they have a smoking charge, and I talk to the parent and the parent says the problem is really not cigarettes. That was like a one-off. The problem is alcohol. And I can say, you know, I'm going to listen to that parent. The problem is alcohol. I don't want them to spend money on a tobacco class when, you know, what they had was mother's cigarettes in their purse and mom knew they were there. I mean, you know, facts drive the better decisions, you know. Facts drive the decisions that I try to make. So I don't know your young person the way you know your young person. If driving is the issue, we want to address it quickly because driving is the killer of teens in Texas. If the decision was not driving, it was, you know, distraction in the car, a drunk friend talking to you and you didn't realize. I mean, I don't know everything that happened here, and y'all do. So, you know, you could tell me what happened. Dad can tell me what he thinks is best. I can ask both of you. I'm open because I don't know it as well as you know it, but I certainly have the power of sentencing. And the more information I get on a sentencing, the better, because I'm going to taper it down to what is going to be the most effective. My goal always with teen court is, with all due respect, Ms. Washam, I don't want to see you again in here. Okay. And I really don't want to read about something bad happening to you. Yeah. So
I would think that it possibly was being distracted, but I don't know. I mean.
So Ms. Washington, what happened? What happened here?
So it was after a protected green, like it wasn't protected, but the light was green. So I was behind two other cars turning left. So I waited for them to go, and then I looked and I didn't see anything. So I turned left, and then that's when he like T-boned me coming against my, like the way I was going, and flipped my car.
He had the right of way.
Yes, ma'am.
And were you alone in the car? Were you
Yes, ma'am.
able to? Okay. No, when they're distracting you, talking to you?
No.
Were you on your phone?
No, ma'am.
Fooling with the music?
Okay. My music was loud.
Okay. So I'm open to it. Alive at 25 is longer, Dad, but you know, you also know you're a young person. Having other problems? Are we getting another trouble, or is this the one-off, so to speak?
Mm-hmm. Whatever you would recommend.
Is she having other problems? Are we having like curfew problems? Are we having the company you're keeping is a problem? I mean,
Not necessarily out of hand, but I mean.
Is it any worse than when we were her age?
Yeah, I'm basing it off of that. She's probably more of an angel than I am, but.
Or was, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to talk about the present.
Yeah.
We can talk about when we were 16, though.
Yeah.
You know, what were we doing, and how risky was it, and how lucky did we get? You know, because that's what a parent hates, is thinking that you're, you know, out there relying on luck. That's the last thing you want for your young person. You want them relying on their good judgment. You know. Well, I can do Alive at 25. It's certainly about the same. It's about the same time commitment. You know, I would not do the essay, because the essay plus the class is about the same commitment as Alive at 25. Alive at 25 is a great class. It's the most interesting class I have. I've taken the classes, most of them, and it's a cool class. So, what's our deadlines on these? Okay. Okay, so we have two options. And I'm going to leave it open to you and assign it. And then you pick what you want to do. Y'all can talk about this as a family. There's an online option, and it's 2 sessions. One meets March 5th. The second one meets April 9th. They just split it up because being online for hours and hours and hours becomes a punishment, and you stop listening. There's a live class where you do it all at once, and that's March 26th. So I'm going to make the due date for Alive at 25, April 26th. And y'all can pick which one you want, live or online, depending on what y'all are comfortable with. And then my next question is, what time should we look for you to come up today and sign your paperwork?
We will, if it's okay, we can come there right now.
Okay.
Right afterwards.
Okay. We should be, you know, give us a few minutes. We should be able to have it ready soon.
Maybe like half an hour or so.
Yeah, I would say 15 to 30 minutes works fine.
Okay, and all of that, we'll sign the Alive at 25 thing there too, and we'll have all the information we'll sign.
You'll sign your teen court paperwork. We will give you the information for getting enrolled in that class. But part of taking responsibility, Ella, is you figure out how to get signed up for a class. Which I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and I'm moving forward. And Miracle Ingram. Just, where are you? I'll get with you in just a moment. I need to take Ms. Rice. And I see you on there, but I don't know if you can hear me or not. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm here.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'll be right with you, okay?
Okay.
Are you able to get your screen on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you for just another quick moment because I'm gonna talk to Ms. Rice because I want to keep her moving. And then you're very next, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Ms. Ingram. And Ms. Rice, I know you were talking to Mr. Pace.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, where are we with that charge?
I think we're on track for a resolution. If we could just keep Mr. Pace on his February 23rd pretrial date.
Okay, so Mr. Pace, we are going to see you February 23rd at 1 o'clock, okay? Is he back in the room?
He is, yes, Your Honor.
There you go. Mr. Pace, just going to see you in court on the 23rd of February at 1 o'clock, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And Ms. Rice, I'm going to move you forward. Your next person, let me just look, is going to be Michael Teague. And Mr. Teague, just sending you that invitation to that breakout room. Give me a second. Just trying to find it. I don't know what happened. There we go. That should be making its way to you quickly. You'll just want to click on that invitation and move over. Thank you. And then Ms. Ingram, good morning.
Good morning.
And the charge that I have before me is a speeding charge from December 29th. And I believe you have entered a plea of guilty to that charge. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I have a request for a payment plan. Is that your request today?
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't show any income here, and I just showed, a bill, a monthly living expense, it says, of $600.
Yeah, well, I just started babysitting. So at the time I was trying to let the woman know up front that I didn't have any employment at that moment, but
Okay.
just got everything going, and so now I'm babysitting.
Okay.
So.
All right. So, Mr. Teague, I'm just sending that invitation again. I see what happened. So, okay, Miss Ingram, do you want to do, I could do a $25 a month payment plan and start in a month? Would that give you enough time to get started?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that a realistic goal for you? I can see that you had a child. I certainly saw that in the picture.
Yeah, I have two. They were there.
You didn't list them though. What are their names?
I have Legacy Johnson.
Okay. Well, how old is Legacy?
Legacy is 3. And then I have JC Parks, and she'll be 6 months on the 1st. She's 5 months.
Okay. And do you have, so you're babysitting someone and you have income. Do you have bills that you pay regularly?
Well, I kind of stay with someone. I stay with a family friend.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's fine. And then the babysitting, do you know around how much you make a month?
I just started, so I think weekly I'll make maybe 200 or 300 a week. It just kind of depends on the hours that I'm there, and we kind of just go from there.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and set a payment plan, $25 a month. And when do you want to start? Do you want to start in 30 days or do you want to start now?
I can start in 30 days.
Okay. Beginning on March 1st. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
A little more than 30 days, just because that's the day that we're open. What time can you come by today to sign for this? Sorry, you froze up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I can be there probably like around 12:30 or 1.
Okay. We will have everything at the front desk for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. I just go to the same place that I went to the other day.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. And I'm moving forward, and my next person is Jessica Giles. And I know your mom is on the phone also, and I'll let her get unmuted and let you get unmuted. Are y'all both with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Mom, you there? Sometimes the phone takes just a minute to catch up with us, so let's just be patient. Ms. Giles? Ms. Giles, can you hear me?
Is she in here? Yes.
Then,
Right there.
my experience with phone call folks is bless them, but they tend to just not really cue in, and I'm just gonna stay patient. Ms. Giles? Ms. Giles, can you hear us? Can I get her first name just here?
Aranda.
Aranda? Can you hear me? And who are you with now? Is that your aunt or?
That's my grandma.
Okay. Grandmother, what's your name, please?
Annazette Williams.
Oh, there we go. I have that written down. And so mom went off. So that's probably a connection problem. And what I will expect is she'll dial back in. This is a theft charge. And you are living in San Antonio, right, Jessica?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Listen, we have a program. Here comes your mom, too. Perfect
Can
time.
you guys hear?
Hi, Miss Giles. I can hear you.
Okay, I just hung up and called back because I can hear you fine, but I guess you guys couldn't hear me.
That's okay. It happens, and we've got it cleared up now. So I was just talking to Miss Williams, and I told them I thought you'd probably be right back on. And I was just telling your son, Jasir, that, and I hadn't even gotten this part out yet. He's charged with a theft charge, a theft under $100, and the fines and costs, if we paid it, are $296. Now, I had sent some paperwork. When did we send this? We sent this last week, and it's just some some information that has to do with, your rights and your duties. Jasir, have you been able to take a look at it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I don't think, but let me check. Did we get that back yet? We're checking to see. Did you send it back to us?
I'm sorry.
These papers, did you sign them and send them back to us, Jasir?
Jasir signed all of his, yes.
Okay, did you send them? I think you did. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just the first one tells you that you have the right to remain silent. That's basically that one. And, if we move forward with sentencing, which teen court is what I might look at, but I want to talk about some other options that we have. With teen court, you gain a dismissal. We have a first offender program, I think we still have it. And that's another option. So I want to talk to you about that too, okay? So with this one, the right to remain silent, do you feel like you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what that really means for you and I right now, okay, is that, if I accept your plea, you're waiving that right to remain silent, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then the next one just has to do with the right address down there in San Antonio. Did we have the right address for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, and then the next one just tells you keep your address current till we're done, okay?
Okay.
And then the one after that said, if you don't keep your address current and we mail you stuff, you could be held in contempt. Also, if I make a court order and you don't follow it, you can be held in contempt. What contempt looks like now isn't that I throw you in jail as a kid. Okay, it's that I hold your license and you don't get to get one until you straighten things out with us. So just make sure you understand what we ask you to do today. Make sure if you don't know and you get down the road and you realize you don't understand it, that you reach out. Okay, because we have a case manager, Yolanda, and you can always call Yolanda if you have questions. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, don't just if you get scared and don't know what to do, don't blow it off. Call us, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I can always get back in a meeting like this with you and we can talk again. And then the last thing that we gave you just basically said that if you get a conviction before you turn 17, you can come to court, ask for it to be removed from your record, and it will be removed from your record, okay? I think you were listening very carefully. You probably heard me talk to the young lady earlier about your future and just making sure this doesn't affect you.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, you know, your best option is looking at a dismissal. I did receive your plea of guilty, but before I accept it, let me ask you, do you understand those pleading options of guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so if we move to do teen court, then what I'm going to do is, you know, go ahead and ask for you to do a class. But here's the thing, okay? I do have a first offender program, and that first offender program allows me to order that you do a class. And if you get your class done and turn it in, then I can dismiss the charge. And I can give you, I think, let me just double check. 30 days, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing. So Ms. Williams, can you come on screen? And Ms. Giles, are you following?
Yes, ma'am. I'm still
Okay.
here.
So there's a class. And the class I would require for teen court, but we also require it for a first offender program. Jasir, have you ever had a charge like this before?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you been in trouble at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And Grandma, Ms. Williams, what's he like at home? Has he had any trouble?
Oh, no, he's doing good. The
Okay.
normal 12-year-old.
Right, of course. And Ms. Giles, your thoughts?
I think a class would be good.
Say that again?
I said I think a class would be good. Like my mom said, he's a 12-year-old, so I mean, you know, he tries to see here and there what he can and can't get away with.
Yeah, well, that's not unusual, but it's good. You know, it's not good that he's in trouble right now, but it is good that we, in a way, just here, it's almost a good thing that you were caught. I know it probably didn't feel like a good thing, but the fact is, right now we can address it and maybe help you not have further problems. And a theft intervention class, I've actually taken the theft intervention class. I learned a lot. It's not really boring. It's a pretty interesting class. And what I'm going to say is you need to do a class and get it to me no later than March 1st. And I'm going to schedule you to come back to another Zoom meeting. And I need that certificate like the day before that meeting.
Okay.
So that we can look at a dismissal. Just
Yes.
an outright dismissal. It's a little less formal than teen court, but it's a first offender program. And what will happen is if you don't do it, then we'll talk about teen court and I'll still make you do it. So you're going to need to do your class. It's an online class, okay?
Okay. We could do online.
Okay, great. And it's about $50. That's another thing we're going to ask family to do. But we won't have any other fees. It's just the class.
When is the $50 due?
It's to pay for the class.
Okay.
Right. And so the class is due March 1st.
March 1st?
Yes. That's about 35 days from today. Well, yeah, it's about 35 days from today.
Okay, that's good, because I'm a disabled veteran and I only get paid once a month.
Okay. Can mom help too? Maybe a little bit?
She's got another child at home that she's strapped with. I mean, she's not a bad child, but she's raising another child at home. So me and Jasir worked it out that he's gonna do yard work and paint and
Great. That's
the
good.
painting.
That's the best way. That really is good, Giles. I mean, Jasir. Sorry, I just keep wanting to call you Giles. Jasir, that's a great idea.
So, but I
Okay.
will have the money February 1st.
Okay. That would still give him 30 days to do it.
Okay.
Okay. So will that work out for y'all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and send the paperwork to you. And you'll just need to sign it and email it back to me. Okay. And it's going to be your agreement to do the program. And it's going to be your, to come back into the meeting on March 1st so that I can let you know, yes, I dismissed it. Okay. Or if it's not done, you can talk to me about what happened. Okay. But try to get it done. And then, we'll also include your class information. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have questions this year?
Ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Williams, do you have questions?
No, ma'am. He just needs something to show that he was here because he's a
Okay.
seventh grader.
That's fine. We'll send an excuse with your paperwork.
Amen.
Just make sure we get back your paperwork today. And Ms. Giles, Mom, do you have a question or any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna let everybody go then, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasir. See you in a month.
Amen.
Okay, so moving forward. Yes, Raymond Johnson, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. You?
Doing well, thank you.
You welcome. That's good.
Yeah, so I do have a no driver's license charge,
Yes, ma'am.
and the fines and costs are $181. That's to stop January 6th. And I did receive a request for teen court and a guilty plea. Do you understand the guilty, not guilty, and no contest options for pleading?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that your mom there?
Yes, ma'am.
And mom, what's your name?
Kelly Borja.
Kelly what?
Borja.
Borja?
Borja, yeah. B as in boy, O-R-J-A.
Borja. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. I just wasn't hearing it exactly. I knew I wasn't hearing it right, but I just wasn't sure. Okay, I will accept your plea of guilty, Raymond, but I do want to let you know that, and I can approve teen court, but you probably heard me talking earlier to a young person that, I'm going to try to see if you can get a permit.
Yes, ma'am.
So where are you in that process?
We got to go to the DPS. I can turn in my papers. Then I got to take the test. And yeah.
We're on parent type.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're close to being able to, have you scheduled your time with DPS?
No, ma'am, I'm gonna do it today.
Okay, because the problem is you log in and find out that you're scheduled after your due date for teen court. Right now, what I would say is there's a teen court fee of $20. Can we pay that fee today?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in cash, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what I want is your permit. So, and that's due by March 1st.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
And that would be teen court for this. Because I know what it is involved. So you just got the cart before the horse. There's no accident. I'm not condoning it. You got lucky. But I do see your driver education program. You've already submitted it. So I'm counting that in this decision. And I just I want to make sure you've got that permit before I let you go.
Yes, ma'am.
So when can y'all come by to pay the cash and sign your
After,
paperwork?
after, yeah, 30 minutes.
Okay. I will have that ready as quickly as we can. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Don't hurry, but we'll see you soon.
You too.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well,
and Ms. Rice, I know you were talking with Mr. Teague, and y'all can both unmute and tell me if we are heading to resolution or heading to trial.
All right, good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. Ms. Rice, let me hear from you first. Are we heading to resolution or trial?
We've reached resolution, Your Honor. State's requesting to do a deferral of 120 days, just the normal standard conditions. Mr. Teague says that he may need a payment plan. He has not filled out a financial affidavit, but he can go by the court today and fill that out.
Problem is I need to do the court order of the information I need to do it. I certainly don't mind approving a deferred and giving him time. I will work with him. I'm going to let you move forward. Your next person is Stephen Hook. Mr. Teague, hold on just a moment. We have a solution. I guarantee you that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Hook, or Mr. Hook, sorry, Stephen Hook. Wait a minute. Did I just send the wrong person? No, I think I didn't. I think it's just there they went. Okay, so to go past today for payment, I require the payment application, and part of that is just so I can make a good decision. I don't mind if we have a conversation and solve it, and then you come up to get your deferred paperwork and fill that form out. But here's my question. It's 481. Normally we go like 30 days to get it paid. Do you need more time than that?
So, and again, I just want to apologize for not doing my due diligence. I honestly did not read the email all the way down. I didn't see those 3 attachments until this morning, which I was trying to explain to Mrs. Rice. And just first of all, I really appreciate y'all's time. I can make a payment today. So I have a 100% commission-based job. December, I had a little bit of a rough month, of course, I have 3 children. I'm the head of the household, the only one that works, Christmas gifts, stuff like that, and then paying bills. Well, on New Year's Eve, coincidentally, when I received the citation, I actually tested positive for COVID, and I missed the first 10 days of this month. So I've really only had 20 days to make up for a little bit of a rough month, and then of course pay for these bills. So $500 today would just be, it would hurt my family just a little bit. I can definitely pay. Yeah.
That's okay. We can sort it out. What do you do?
I am a sales consultant at Garland, Shelton, Cadillac, Buick GMC here in Temple, Texas.
Okay. And so can you pay $200 today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the next question, let's see, that puts you down to 281. Do you need more than 30 days to finish that?
No, I will be paid February 4th or 5th, and I could do it either that day or the following day.
That's fine. Let me look. That's sooner than I would have expected. So, that's a Saturday. So the 7th is a weekday where we're open, and you could, in case you had trouble. I mean, you can pay it online, but I like to set things on days when I know we're here in case there's a problem. So what I would say is February 7th workable for you for the balance?
Absolutely. So
okay.
Let me just set that down.
We're going to put all this in a document.
Okay.
So that's my next thing is I can send that document to you if you can print it, sign it, and give it back to us. Can you do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your
we'll
Honor.
email to you, and then once you get that, then it's set up right in the system. And then you can log on you can go to the Temple Municipal Court's website, and there's a payment portal there, and you can do it that way. Or can they do it on the phone now?
Yeah, they can pay over the phone or online.
Yeah, you can pay online or by phone. But once you receive that paperwork and email it back to us, then you're free to do that first payment. Don't do
Okay.
it before then, because if you do it before then, it's not set up right. It triggers a conviction and then we have to reverse it. We can do that, but we'd rather not. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So we'll email that to you, everything to you. And once you print it, sign it, email it back, and then make that first payment today. And then you don't have a payment until February 7th. And today, when you email back that deferred, also email that payment application paperwork back to us. Do you still have it, or do we need to send it again?
Was that in the original email for the Zoom meeting?
I'm assuming that it was.
What is the name of the form, like the financial affidavit? Yes, ma'am, I do have that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're on the city's website too, the municipal courts page. We have them. Okay.
Okay.
So just email both the deferred order and then those 2 pieces of paper back to us. Do your payment today, do your other payment. It's 120-day deferred. It's going to say no more tickets, no arrests. Keep your address current. Make your payments on time. Don't get reticketed. Your case will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I do have one question.
Yes.
In that original email, it said I had a Zoom meeting today and then a physical appearance on February 24th. Does that stay the same or change?
No, it cancels it.
Perfect. That's all I need to know.
That's for things are still pending. We need to get on track, make sure we're either heading to trial or not, and we all know what we're doing. This doesn't work for everybody. So we put a stopgap basically on the process.
Okay.
Yeah. And you just created that a different stopgap.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just trying to finish cases. I don't care what happens to them. I don't care if people are guilty or not guilty. I mean, I do care. I care about public
Right.
safety. I care about people's record. I care about people. What I don't care about is, whether you're found guilty or not. I don't have an opinion about it ahead of time. What I like to know is we're going to wrap up the case, whatever direction it's going. That was scheduled so that it doesn't drop off the map.
Right.
What we did right now, and I'm signing your paper, is we're taking it in a different direction. So that cancels.
Well, I truly appreciate your time, Your Honor. Thank you for seeing me today. And
You're welcome.
I'll get everything taken care of.
Thank you. Just call us if you run into any roadblocks.
I sure will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm just moving along and moving forward. My next person is Andrew Tomez. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
I mean, you have 4, so it's not great, but there are worse things too.
Yes.
So just let me get a little Tony caught up on a couple of pieces of paper. Let's see. Okay. All right. And the charge is a no insurance charge, Mr. Tomez, and it's from December 2nd. And if you paid it, it's $281. Let me just, your insurance that you provided for us didn't start until the 16th. So it can't be dismissed.
Okay.
Did you have insurance at the time of the stop?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Okay. And you've entered a plea of guilty and requested teen court. And is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
With teen court, there's a $20 fee. Can you pay that fee in cash today?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And then what I would say next is I'm going to require insurance. You've already done that. So,
yeah.
And then I require an essay.
An essay?
An essay or a class. But the class you pay for, the essay you don't have to pay. You just have to do it. So I saw you kind of cringe with the essay. You could do a driving safety course. I could do that. Or I could do an essay. Which would you prefer?
What is the essay? Like, when am I supposed to write the essay on?
Well, it's a 3-page essay. It kind of ties in with driver safety.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an essay about that. You watch some YouTube videos and write about it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So the 3-page essay, the due date is going to be March 1st. And we're going to have all the requirements for that written down for you when you come in to pay your $20 and sign your paperwork. What time can we expect you today?
What time do y'all close?
We close, I would say we close at 5, but you need to be here no later.
Okay. Well, cause I'm at school and I get out at 3:10. So
Then come here then.
Okay.
Come here after school. Get an excuse for work if you need one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll see you about 3:30, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And I think Ms. Rice, you were talking to the Hooks?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and they can unmute as well. And Ms. Rice, are we heading to resolution or are we heading to trial?
So Your Honor, I spoke to Stephen Hook and his wife.
Yes.
State's going to request to dismiss and I'll send over Justice Silver against Stephen Hook, and I will refile this particular charge against Mrs. Hook. Yes.
Okay, so this charge is being dismissed, Mr. Hook. We are anticipating that the state will refile as to Ms. Hook. And when that happens, we send a letter summons to court, okay? So look for it because she's saying she's definitely going to do that. And what that means is you'll probably get a summons in the next 2 to 4 weeks. If you haven't received it, call and check because the court doesn't file it. So it's not like if you forget or if we forget, then something happens differently. It could be that a letter didn't make it to you. So don't do that. Just call and check because it's not going to trigger anything other than for us to say we don't have it yet or we do have it and you already have a court date. And I would just probably do that a couple of 2 weeks. And then I would probably assume at that point that I'm not looking for a letter, but I'm thinking that she will refile. Okay. Okay. And then at that time, you can come discuss your options with the clerk. So Ms. Warren, I'm so sorry, Ms. Rice, I don't want to call you Miss Amanda and I keep, next time I'm just going to put Rice on the screen, but Ms. Rice, if you will, just get that to us in a little bit.
Yes.
And then Mr. Hook will email that to you, okay?
Perfect. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Y'all are free to go at this time.
Thank you.
And thank you. And Ms. Rice, I'm going to move you forward. And your next person is Mr. Boras. Mr. Boras or Boras?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. So here's the one difficulty with the phone, okay? What happens with the phone is that I will send you to that meeting and you'll receive like an invitation, a prompting to switch over and it will take you over. But after you've talked to Ms. Rice, you'll wind up having to hang up and dial back into the meeting because you can't switch back over to this meeting. It's just one of the failings of technology, but
I apologize not having a
that's okay.
suitable, okay.
That's okay. That's all right.
And speak to Ms. Rice and move forward. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That invitation went, so you should be switched. There he went. So I probably wonder what happened. Okay. Some people's phone just takes them right over. And after that is Ms. Perez. After that, after Ms. Perez is Ms. LaHue. I'm going to talk to, let's see, Chrysanthemum Porter. If you could unmute. Ms. Porter, if you could unmute. Hi, Ms. Porter, are you there? Thank you.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
morning.
sorry, I don't know how to work this.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to work with you while you sort it out. So I had community service due June 22nd of 2021. And then I think that there was an extension maybe given. I'm not sure. But in the end, I know you're needing, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I know you're needing or wanting more time to do it. And I guess what I'm trying to find out is, have you done any of your hours?
I haven't done any hours. No, I haven't.
Okay.
In which I had a family emergency and I left to go back home for a while. So no, I did not do any hours.
Okay. Is the family emergency resolved?
Well, right now my brother is going through chemo. So, I'm running back and forth. We finally was able to get him from Little Rock Air Force Base down here, and he's in Scott and White. So I'm running back and forth with that, tending to my brother.
Okay. So do you know where you're trying to go to do the community service?
Because most of the time I would be in Temple, it probably would be Temple. I had went to feed the sheep, but they wouldn't allow me because they said I didn't have the paperwork I'm supposed to have for community service.
Right. You're gonna have to stop by the court and maybe get it.
Okay.
Okay. The case went back to warrant because we did not hear from you.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that some fees got, so it's turned into 77 hours.
Okay.
And we're going to start with a due date of March 23rd, 4th. Now, if you don't have all your hours done by then, you're going to have to come in to get an extension on or before your due date.
Okay.
Don't let it go back to warrant. It just makes it harder.
Oh, yes, it does. You're absolutely right. Yes, it does. So
yeah, I don't really want to do that,
No, I don't need that. Please.
Yeah. So we also send you a letter before we do all of that. And if you didn't change your address,
no, ma'am. Everything is still the same.
Then but we sent you letters and didn't hear from you. So what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to just tell you, if you could just let me finish, is just to tell you, don't let the date pass. If you're not finished, if you haven't turned it all in, well, I mean, my position as a judge is, I've told you it's due, that it's due. So if you're not done, come talk to us and we'll work with you. Okay.
For sure.
Okay. So just don't let the due date go by. Bring me any hours you've done, turn them in, drop me a letter and tell me how long you think you need. And I'm normally going to just work with you on that. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to give you a new extension, which again is March 24th.
Okay.
And it's 77 hours.
Okay.
And you're going to need to come in and grab your paperwork so that you have what you need to have for Feed My Sheep, okay? Or wherever you go.
Okay.
We have a list of places and it's kind of updated, so you'll want to take a look at it, okay?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, Ms. Porter, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Am I still gonna be in warrant status until the hours are done?
No, once you come pick up your paperwork. So what time this morning can we look for you?
I have another appointment. Is it possible I can have maybe my mom get it? She's closer to me.
I think we can have her come get it because I don't have anything for you to sign.
Okay.
Okay. Today?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, and we're just waiting because the prosecutor is who y'all are waiting for, okay? So just bear with me. I'm gonna do a little bit of paperwork while we hang out together online, okay? Elisa Narco. Do we have any idea what's happening with her? Yeah, I did tell her when I first assigned it. I guess I'm wondering if she dropped me any kind of note. Let me check the file real quick. I can do that. An email. Ms. Rice?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
I'm
I think
sorry.
he's dialing. I think he's dialing back in, right?
Yes, I told him to dial back in.
Okay. If you want to go ahead and let me know, are we heading to resolution or is it heading to trial?
Your Honor, state's going to request to dismiss, and I'll send a dismissal later today.
Okay, I will see about how we get it to him, and I'll talk to him about it. Thank you very much.
Great.
I'm going to go ahead and move you forward with Ms. Perez. Ms. Perez, you're going to receive an invitation to that meeting. And when you're done with that meeting, just come back in this meeting, okay? Oops, I sent Ms. Hugh. Hold on just a moment. Ms. LaHue, I'm sorry. I accidentally clicked on you instead of Ms. Perez. Your turn is next. There you go, Ms. Perez. Just go ahead and join that meeting. And Ms. LaHue, I'll be right with you. Sorry about that. Mr. Boris is being dismissed. He was on the phone. So I don't think we can email it to him, and he was having trouble with it. He can either come in and get it if he calls in, or we can just mail it to him. I'm going to call Ms. Condorcet.
The number you dialed is not a working number. Please check the number.
What is it?
Our scan snail.
Is it terrible?
It's terrible. It's like it's a blob of red.
Yeah, it's like a blob. Mr. Boris?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for calling back in. Ms. Rice
Yes, ma'am.
informs me, thank you. Ms. Rice informs me that she is dismissing the charge. And my question is, do you want to swing by and pick up a copy, or shall we mail it to you?
If you could mail it to me, I would surely appreciate it. Just say
That'd be fine.
okay, and I sure appreciate it. It was very interesting listening to you, and you are wonderful. And I'm glad that I've met and listened to all of the conversations today, because it was very knowledge, information that I just sucked it all up. It was very informative, and I hope I don't have any more problems or get any more trouble, because I try and do the best I can. And I'm sorry to have wasted your time and the court's time and everybody else involved, but
You didn't waste our time. It's what we do.
Okay.
I appreciate your remarks. Thank you for your kindness, and we will mail that to you today or tomorrow. Okay.
I sure appreciate it, Judge, and you take care and have a wonderful new year, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much for that. You too.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thanks. So on this conductor, I'm just gonna. Okay, Ms. Rice. I think you were visiting with Ms. Perez. And are we heading to trial?
We've reached a resolution, Your Honor. State's requesting to do a reduction of fine to 250. And Ms. Perez indicated that she should probably take her 30 days to pay, but I told her you would work out payment with her to make sure that meets what she can afford.
Okay, are we talking about fines plus costs?
Yes, Your Honor, it's fines plus costs. I did explain to her about court costs.
Okay, all right. I will work out payment with her, and I'm going to let you take Ms. LaRue, who's been patiently waiting, but I believe on the phone. And Ms. LaRue, if you're unable to come back in the meeting, actually, I was able to put her in the meeting by accident a moment ago and then bring her back. So it might be that you let me know to bring her back, and I'll try that first. But Ms. LaRue, if we get disconnected at any point, just dial back in. We'll wait a few minutes for you, okay? So you'll want to unmute as you go into the next room. If you're talking, I didn't hear you, but there you go. So I'm sending you over. Here we go. I'm sending you over to that meeting. For whatever reason, her phone just zips right over. I haven't seen that. Okay, Ms. Perez, let me just give me a moment. Sort of hoping to talk to you on screen. Thank you. We're doing a reduction on Ms. Perez. And my question before we do that is, what are the court costs? Okay, so the court costs are $19. And so that's going to give take your total to $269. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I can just give you an automatic.
No, ma'am.
I can give you an automatic 30 days to pay. But I do need to get your signature on that. If I email you the information to sign, can you sign it and email it back to us? You have to print it and sign it.
Is it paperwork that I have?
No, what I'm saying is we would email that to you, print it and sign it and email it back.
Okay. So you're going to sit and I'll sign and email back?
So let me just start at the beginning. I'm going to email you paperwork. Can you print it, sign it, and email it back to us today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's it. So we'll email it to you. The email we use to set up this meeting, okay?
Okay.
Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, that should be making its way to you probably in the next half hour.
Okay, I'll get it back to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
On Miss Condarco, I reviewed. I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, waves, sorry. Thank you. Where's that rejection? This is always come dark. This is Derek Norman. I accepted his plea and added his hours. I don't know if we had any hours turned in. I don't think we did. I've given him an extension, but I need his signature on the waiver form. And I didn't do these numbers because I didn't break all those costs off.
Okay.
We haven't updated this form. The last time we did it, we didn't update it. It still has like $500 and he's added and added and added.
Okay.
I'm not going to give him an extension again after this unless he signs the form and shows some progress. So I put those notes. They're sticky notes though, so we'll have to try to add that in. The good news is today, the way the flow of this is going, we're almost done. So it's relatively easy to wrap up today. Morning.
How you doing?
We're good.
Good. I'm going to take an extra battery, put on the charger, my battery died.
Okay.
It ain't better. I grabbed my extra phone.
I'll be right with you. Thank you, Ms.
Hello.
LaHue. Hi. Thank you, Ms.
Hi.
LaHue. Hi, this is Judge Person, and I'm in the same room with you and with Ms. Rice. And I'm just about to ask Ms. Rice, are we heading to resolution or are we heading to trial?
We reached resolution, Your Honor. State's requesting to reinstate the driver's safety course dismissal, and Ms. LaHue said that she couldn't make full payment today, and I'm not sure when she can, but she says that she filled out a financial affidavit.
Okay, yes, she did. So, Ms. LaHue,
Yes.
the court costs still have to get paid, and they wind up having to get paid all at the same time. And that would be the court costs, sorry. Let me just check those. What are those on this case? 144. When can you pay those in full?
I was going to split it up into 2 payments of 80, so I guess I can just put aside, well, would it be 80?
Well,
I
see,
believe it's like,
here's the thing. I can give you time to put money aside and do, but it all has to get paid at once when you come here. So what works best for you?
okay, let's just do a week from today.
Oh, that's easy. I do need to get your signature on an extension. That would be no later than February 1st. Is that enough time?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then at that point you pay 144 and present license and insurance all on the 1st of February. Will that work?
Yes.
Okay, I can extend you, but I need a signature on that extension date. If I email that to you, can you print it, sign it, and send it back, or do you need to come by to do that?
I would prefer to come by. I live about 2 minutes away.
Oh, that's great. Okay, that'll work for us too. So we'll have an extension for you to sign at the window, and then it's an extension to come in no later than February 1st. Pay the 144, present license insurance. And then that, don't start the process of taking the class yet. You want to turn it in within 90 days from that return date. So that'll be, sometime in April, I think. Okay. They'll give you the final window.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have all that at the front desk for you when you come in, okay?
Okay, see you there shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ms. Rice, do you have anything else we need to discuss on that?
Just real quickly, for jury trial next week.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me end the public meeting because
okay.
that